From row 2, what can Marc Marquez do in his first race appearance since the Spanish Grand Prix in Jerez way back on July the 19th, 20. Marquez, Pol Espargaro and Brad Binder. They go from row 5 ahead of Bastianini, Valentino Rossi down in row 6 as well with Danilo.
It's out in Portugal, a very good start actually from Fabio Quartararo and Alex Rins as well, but as we shoot down to turn 1, Rins.
Great start by Marc Marquez, and he's up to 4th place already. Find turn 3, and has Alex Rins been able to find a way through? No. Zarco holds the inside line.
It's Bagnaia. It's Zarco that leads into turn 5. Marquez sits up. Pecco Bagnaia, sorry.
And go part of the track into turn 5. Couldn't squeeze the power back on up the hill. So Mir also.
6 or 7 corners into the race.
Maverick Vinales had an absolute nightmare. Vinales started 12th. He was so on Jack Miller last time out in Qatar.
Oh, Rins thought about the move there. Up the inside of Zarco.
Well by Marc Marquez. He's going to be able to ease himself gently into this Grand Prix now. He's only got Savadori behind him.
Zarco does lead across the line then as at the end
into the first corner. No way he was going to make that one happen.
Oh, Marquez!
Whoa!
He touches the...
For Quartararo, he went on through. Quartararo himself had a big moment coming out of turn 4.
There is Marc then. He's dropped back behind Jack on board here with Mir. And front wheel on rear wheel, sometimes that can go horribly wrong.
Yeah, Marquez could easily have gone down. In this Grand Prix, we're not even completed 2 laps.
Keeping good company there. Luca 10th, the rookie, board with Rins. Looking up towards Zarco, he said he wanted to lead. Oh, there's a move there from Aleix Espargaro, I think on Marc Marquez. Oh, the front end is moving around there for Pramac Ducati rider Johan and Rins. And
can Rins make up some time on the brakes? We know how good the braking stability is, but into turn 2, you bet he can.
Yeah, there are a couple of proper fun on Sundays, more. But
Aleix Espargaro did well to get through on Marc Marquez when he did. Here's Miller coming from a long way back into turn 5 on Fabio. He was in wide.
Zarco can't trust interest from Alex.
Exceptionally well. We know how good they are at tyre management, tyre conservation. This is right where the Suzuki's needed to be.
Oh, here comes a move to
take the lead.
That was so close. How on earth did they not there?
Well, that just shows how he's down in 21st place. A disaster for the Top Gun, who's misfiring big time.
Fastest lap of Faro on Joan Mir, that.
And all that we thought would happen if
we have got a proper race. Through turn 5 we go. It's Ducati, Suzuki, Yamaha, Suzuki, Ducati.
Bit of a twitch on the rear tyre for Mir as he crests over the hill through 8 and 9. There is Marc place at this stage. Here he goes. Rins tried that on the last lap. This time he does make it through into turn number 3.
But Zarco's got the speed on the straight.
Sector 4 is where the Suzuki have been untouchable because
he's on board with Joan Mir though.
Look at
he pulls up alongside him.
Rins do about that absolutely nothing.
Straight on into turn 1, he's dropped to 15.
Alex Rins probably had a good 3 or 4 bike lengths on
Repsol Honda rider. I don't know if he's feeling the ill effects of the crash that he had from yesterday.
He was really badly beaten up, wasn't he?
Place.
Oh, Rins again up the inside of Zarco. That's the favoured overtake for the Suzuki then, is it? They can run that tyre to line, just release the brake.
Beautifully done. Yeah. That is beautifully done.
And you can see Zarco there was just marginally offline, and as he asked for the
it's Rins, but here comes Zarco through on both of them. No. But Quartararo's having none of it. He stays in second plumb down.
Oh, it's a
Ducati of Miller.
It's Jack Miller.
Miller's gone down. Nightmare continues for the Australians that leads from Quartararo and fellow Frenchman, the World Championship leader. He's just behind Aleix Espargaro here. Wow, that's so peculiar. What happened there?
He's doing mid-42s. He's absolutely nowhere. On that
Someone else
lap,
has gone down.
2.1 seconds slower than Rins.
In November.
A dream win 4 months ago to an absolute nightmare then for Miguel Oliveira. He was down.
Involved in the top 8. Bagnaia has now just gone past him. So Bagnaia is up into 8th place. Of course, factory. Before that, he was doing a 1:43. So what on earth happened there?
Now Vinales is...
Around turn 15 we go. Fabio Quartararo. Don is Alex Rins by his team. Fastest lap of the race to Zarco, who goes through naturally on the straight past Mir into 3rd. Really wide, and now they're side by side. Luckily he's got the inside line for turn 4 as Rins. Quartararo, Matt,
with the inside line, he was already committed. He had to take that move on. There was a little bit of rubbing there. Rubbing is racing is the old. He's come from 15.
What a rider, Brad. It's unbelievable, isn't he? He really...
Quartararo in that crucial FP4 session, nobody else in the entire field was able to register one head and shot. Alex Rins dropping down the hill into the braking zone for the first corner.
Here he goes
for it. Yeah, he's got the move done. He's got the inside line. Rins can't. And it was much later in the Grand Prix in Doha. Fabio Quartararo hit the front with clear track in front of him. Nobody.
Yeah, across the line. This will be a 39. Surely it is.
Clear off. abject frustration for Paul.
That crash of Jack's once on the replay, but it almost looked like it blipped on the one. Is Joan Mir is the one I'm watching at the moment because he's so clever.
The question is at the moment is whether or not they'll be able to live with the pace that's about to come from Fabio Quartararo out front.
The Suzuki's all weekends in that fourth sector alone through turns 14 and 15. Alex Rins being asked big question. He's trying to go ahead of him.
Pit Byron nodding his head, and I'm not surprised in admiration for the South African Brad Binder.
As well are the men in 7th and 8th, Bagnaia and Aleix Espargaro. They've just exchanged 40.2s. They're not completely out of this yet.
His rhythm. At the front though, the Suzuki still chase Fabio Quartararo. An offer for him shortly, but it's way too late.
Still don't think he's done a lap in the 140, Steve. It's another 140
given to Fabio Quartararo. Is it time to charge? Is it time to wind things back? He's got full heat now into the...
Is it in terms of corner speed? Quartararo then again dips down into those high 139s, 139.884. Pecco Bagnaia next in his eye line is his VR46 Academy colleague, Franco Morbidelli.
In the closing stages.
Yeah, and at the moment, you've got to say, Joan Mir just...
Bother here from Alex Rins. He won't go away, but we're now entering the fourth sector, and this part of the circuit is where...
Binder's got the finesse, hasn't he? He's not an aggressive rider. It's like a ballet dancer almost, finesse Alex Rins. Bagnaia having to use to get himself into this position.
You're right about Joan Mir as well.
To his teammate on that last lap alone.
There is Bagnaia, then the fastest man on circuit.
And Aleix Espargaro, Steve, once he got through on the KTM man and the Aprilia man, he's been able to check out from those two really on the grid. Nothing.
No, but the good news is that he's
at least he's got
about,
some speed. Yeah,
half a second in terms of race pace there, because
at the moment this is becoming a two-horse race between Fabio Quartararo and Alex Rins.
39.6.
Brilliant. Joan Mir's going to have his hands
to plan, but this a turbocharged Fabio Quartararo.
Yeah, and conventional wind.
Who is closing on this man, Joan Mir?
Credit to Zarco. He got himself into the high 130 to attack Mir on the start-finish straight. You bet he can. There's your answer. And it's a fairly emphatic one, isn't it? Quartararo from Rins.
Zarco made the Suzuki look like a Moto2 bike then on the start-finish straight. Rins is keeping the pressure of Fabio Quartararo at the front of this race at the moment.
Well, that's all he can do, isn't it? Vinales is now lapping in the 140s.
What a shame for him, because he just hit some decent pace.
He'd just taken his brother Luca Marini left in the battle, and that's the Marquez brothers, who at the moment are 9th and 10th.
Bagnaia closes on. I think he'll be pleased to get out of here. Jerez is a circuit he adores, and let's hope that he can put in a... To his credit, at this stage of the race, he's still inside the top 10, and he's lapping in the low 140.
Turn number 11 is going to catch out the doctor.
That went incredibly early, didn't it?
Offline, but that's a shame, because actually right now, but 14th is not going to cut it if you want to win a world title in MotoGP.
Past the Yamaha, of course he can, and through he goes. Bagnaia up into 5th place now. He's now got his eyes set on Joan Mir. These two are the guys leading then. Quartararo from Alex Rins, Zarco and
on that last circuit for Joan Zarco. 10th and a half quicker than this man we're looking at, and the length of time he's been out of the saddle on that Repsol Honda. It's 508.
The questions, hasn't it? Finally, for months and months and months, people have been wondering how he'd come back. Look at these times from Alex Rins. Almost identical times.
Rins is doing absolutely everything. He's able to pull those 5 or 6 bike lengths on Alex Rins, which is in this race second tonight, Steve. He will be able to go to bed tonight and go, do you know what? I gave it my all. I got the absolute best.
Fight for the podium. Bagnaia. Someone's gone down. Bagnaia goes up a place. Who's crashed out? Who's crashed?
Steve, sometimes we've seen this before. Alex Rins in great points opportunities, and he makes blunders at the worst possible time. There's pressure and more on Alex Rins.
Down
and it's Rins who's caved into that pressure.
It's such an awkward corner to get right. 4.2 seconds clear, and at the moment we're on for another French one too, or are we? Because Bagnaia is flying.
Championship as well right now. Joan Zarco is going to surrender the championship
into 2nd place.
Classy ride this by Bagnaia.
Oh, no!
Zarco's gone down.
Zarco, the world championship leader, is now
out a long time ago, and look at that now. Quartararo will have a 14-point.
He did really well actually not to get sucked into that one, because it's ever so easy to be distracted.
That went, can they? And he's absolutely livid with himself, isn't he, Suzuki? Because Bagnaia has put daylight now between himself and Joan Mir, almost half a second.
Mir into the Lacia Spargaro.
Well, we talked about how big on 15th, and it's not been, well, Zarco and Rins, but he's at the threshold, off the scale.
Morbidelli can definitely smell a podium. Against than
Or a
Juata.
Marshall there in the background as well, coming to the fence with a Brazilian flag.
Place away from the world champion, Joan Mir.
South American roots, of course, for Franco Morbidelli. Having done all the hard here.
Yeah, that's the problem, isn't it? You can just see there's a lack of grip from the front as well.
Crest and then line up a move on the brakes down the hill.
He's been very unlucky, hasn't he, so far this year, Pecco Bagnaia. He was unfortunate not to be on the podium. Catches this group, it's too late, surely. You could 50% from somewhere, because his pace in this race is about a second.
Moment. Will there be a moment? It's one thing to get on the rear tyre of Pecco Bagnaia.
Between almost 4 riders. We're getting closer to the last lap of the race.
Yeah, Binder, he's been untouchable today. Topped FP3, topped FP4, year-old Yamaha.
Bagnaia, he's got the power underneath him, but he's going to come under intense pressure.
Yeah, 61 beats to next. I thought it was coming up F Quattararo, grad.
Yeah, same, absolutely the same.
Through
turn
stations all
5.
round. Must amount of credit to Pecco Bagnaia because he really has produced an excellent last 2 or 3 laps when the Suzuki got on him, but a welcome return to the top 6 for him.
Second flag is maybe makes it 2 out of 2. Outstanding from the Yamaha man. Bagnaia from 11th, 93 ahead of his younger brother Alex, with Bastianini finishing in 9th. And this is a scrap here. Nakagami.
As we said, El Diablo in dreamland. Pure class, pure quality. Back wins for the 2nd time in his MotoGP career, and he seizes control of this MotoGP, who I'm sure was super impressed yet again with his man Fabio Quartararo.
What an amazing job.
For sure the condition of the track were better. Also the tire choice.
Big congratulations to Fabio Quartararo.